I tried to film this video on 2 occasions outside. The first time the footage was ruined by the wind, and the second time I just couldn't get out what I wanted to say. So I thought I would just sit in my apartment and talk to you. It's been a while since I've done this style of video. So today I want to tell you a story of a man who gave up on his dreams. Between Christmas and New Year, I was in a really negative mindset. I really thought that I was going to go back home to the UK in March and have to find a job in an office working 9 to 5 and then rent an apartment for 6 months, a year, whatever. And there's nothing wrong with living that lifestyle, but I don't want to live that life. I want to travel the world, I want to be a remote worker, and I want to create lots of experiences that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. And the thought of losing this lifestyle, the flexibility that it brings, was really soul destroying. And it was a hard time. But I'd given up on myself. I'd lost confidence in myself. I'd lost confidence in my skills. And I'd been applying for jobs for like 3 weeks prior to this and not hearing a thing back. I was being a little bit impatient, I admit. But I just wanted a job. But you're not going to find a job when you're moping around, when you're being negative, when you're not being proactive and applying for jobs. I'd just given up applying for jobs. I just couldn't be bothered anymore. So it was the 2nd of January and I was laid in bed. It was about midday. Yeah, I was laid in bed and I was listening to a podcast by Gary Vaynerchuk, and I like his content. It's very motivational. And I was listening to one of his recent podcasts and it made me sit up. It made me think. It gave me some fight. And I got up, I got out of bed, grabbed my laptop, and I thought about half a dozen companies that I would like to work for, that I knew employed remote workers. I sent them all an email with my CV, resume. And then I contacted a few people that I'd been in contact about roles in their business previously. So I sent them an email with my resume, CV, whatever you want to call it. And then I was looking for jobs. I was applying for jobs. I was going in it full speed. I wasn't going to give up. I was fighting. I was back in the ring and I was fighting for my, for my life. It sounds dramatic. But I was fighting for what I wanted to lead, the life that I wanted to lead. And it felt good. I was still having sleepless nights, I was still stressed. For like 3 or 4 nights running, I was waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and falling asleep at 9 o'clock at night. It was Saturday morning, I was getting ready to go to Bangkok. And again, I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, my alarm was set for 7, but anyway, it was early in the morning. And about 10 minutes after waking up, I received a message. And that message said, "Darren, we'd like to interview you for a job." So I just jumped straight onto that message. I contacted them back, and at 5:30 in the morning, I was having an interview on Skype. US time zones, obviously it was a previous day, and I got the job. Got the job. I start the job tonight. They asked me when I could start and I said Monday. So for the first couple of weeks I'm going to be working US time zone hours, which means for me it's going to be late into the evening. It's going to be like 10 till 2 o'clock in the morning, so it's going to mess my body clock up even more, but it's only for a couple of weeks until I get used to the role, the people, the business, and then I can kind of work a bit of nighttime hours to fit in with US, and also a few hours of my time zone as well. Now it is a contract, and with contracts you do not know how long it's going to last. It could last 3 months, 6 months, or it could last 20 months like my last contract. But that's the reason why if you're smart, you put a big portion of the income that you're getting into your savings so that you can, you know, rely on that money should the worst case scenario happen and the contract comes to an end, as it did for me back in May last year. So I think pleased and relieved doesn't really hit the surface of the emotions that I've gone through over the last 24 hours. It's kind of sunk in now, you know, that I've got a job. I don't need to worry as much about my future. I can just focus on the job. I can start to put some plans into what I want to do for the rest of 2018, or not necessarily all of this year, but at least up until June, July time. That's my video. I know it's me sat in my apartment talking. I know lots of you don't enjoy these types of videos, but I wanted to get out, you know, what I've gone through, what you could go through if you're wanting to become a remote worker. If you've got any questions on remote working, then do leave them down in the comment section, because what I might do is do a live stream and answer some of those questions, or I might even write about it on my website. I do have a website for remote working, and I'll leave that link down in the description if you want to check it out. There's an email list on there as well, which I'm going to start working on, so check that out. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Keep safe, keep exploring, and I shall see you next Saturday with an exploring video of Bangkok.